tea grow long. When you come from me teeth, it not on too long. Every day, them sing the same song. But eat when you grow and grow when you eat. We still lay a struggle and I get more defeats. But we are go rise and stand up on we feet. Them fi know a time for retreat. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom. In the island polish.
Pleasant good day, not in the oil and polish. This is your studio OG Rastologist. Francis live in the living color. This is the sound of Reggae to Reggae.com, live internet radio TV show broadcasting from Walkway 30 Studios, Portmore, St. Catherine, Jamaica, West Indies. Out of the pulsating studio of Live from the Caveman Studio, 121 Windward Road, you're listening to one of the vibrant sound of the ladies, Sister Moish. Ah.
Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom.
Live on Reggae to Reggae.com with your most interactive radio, talking about a subject matter that is most synonymous to the development of Jamaica.
More freedom, them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom.
This interactive program is being now hosted by yours truly, the Maroon Paramount Chief. Your program is entitled Queenover. More music from the mother and music master track, Reggae to Reggae.com.
Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Down in the ghetto where the people them a suffer. Me find the remedy, so what them me a go for. Real lioness not talk and stutter. When Babylon see me, them a cover with shut. A long time me a pray them step on my gun. Want see some sunshine, me tired of the storm. Revolution time we not sit and come. A straight talking them just not perform. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Tell them no ramp with me meditation. Jah in my heart, me not here grow long. When you come from me teeth, it not on too long. Every day, them sing the same song. But eat when you grow and grow when you eat. We still lay a struggle and I get more defeats. But we are go rise and stand up on we feet. Them fi know a time for retreat. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Check the system, them make we slap. So why them not legalize marijuana? Analyze my tune, I hope you get the picture. And a normal human being a creature. The hypocrite them not give we no chance. That's why real Rasta burn fire and chant. Freedom of speech, we not use ignorance. Them fi know we want free lunch. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom. Them don't say slavery abolish. Tell them we need more freedom in the island polish. Tell them we want more freedom.
song is synonymous to the realities of Jamaica, as this year, 2012, the conscious Jamaicans are looking at the fact that the Queen time has actually come to an end. It is important to inform our listeners that actually on the 5th day of September 1991, that the United Nations actually signed a document entitled or captioned the Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Convention means law. And of course, that means Jamaica will be now considered among 260 countries as one of the indigenous states in the world. And that is like the prayers of our ancestors have actually came through. Most persons remember that for years the Rastafarian community have become the voice of the people who have been in depression. And our prayers were mainly that the British government would actually move out of Jamaica. But that would not happen until a certain time. And that time is actually the now future. This evening we are actually in the studio, and unlike most reggae show, Reggae to Reggae this evening would be facilitating a little bit of discussion to enlighten people, Jamaicans home and abroad, a little bit on one of the, as I said before, very sensitive situation of the fact that you're leaving out of a colonial state, no more a subject of England. And it is kind of a frightening situation. Most persons don't even know how to handle the situation. So that we decided to use this program to become some sort of a guiding light to the conscious minds who would want more information. And so this is why we call the program Queenover. Song you're just listening to a couple of minutes ago is one of the very fine new breed of music representatives out of Jamaica, a female lady called Moish, and her vocal expression brings forth the voices of the women of Jamaica who decided to let their voice be heard. And so I hope you enjoy that one. As the program go on this evening, we will give you a little bit more in terms of music, of course. And we have a guest in the studio of a very interesting background, of course. And the brother who is in studio with us, of course, is from the family of the Caveman music family. From the Caveman music family, of course. Seems that the rhythm can't even afford us to finish talking before we'll be playing the track. Ladies and gentlemen, live in the studio is the man called Aya David. This is the reason why most Rastafarians are still sitting down comfortable, because we are positive that the King of Kings, the Lords of Lords, in their heart they've got no doubt. No, Rastafari name them shout. So them shouting in the east, west, north. More music from the Mother Music Master track. Try come rule ya. The ghetto youth, them none of them can fool ya, cause this is the voice of the indigenous people. The voice of the indigenous people, a man called Aya David. You know something? It is synonymous that we start this one back from the top of that track.
Is a day-to-day problem. All negativity.
From the top, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. The kings of kings, him are the lords of lords, him are the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No one
watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youths, them none of them can fool ya. Cause in their heart they've got no doubt. No, Rastafari name them shout. So them shout it in the east, west, north and south. Papa make can't lock off the ghetto youths them out. When them shout till us name of everything them claim. Them get fortune and fame. Papa make get lame, this a no game. Burn them out, Rasta a go. Burn them out, till I see I go burn them out. Rasta a go, burn them out. Yo, Parad and Shadia, I'm a the ruler. So me shout out ash and stop them with it. Me no drink liquor, me feed pan bitter. Me shout till I see name and me get rich quicker. Me not turn no itcher, me not be no switcher. Through the dark cloud we a shine and a glitter. We want uplift ya, too much we a suffer. Anyway, the ghetto youth them a go for. Babylon a suck with blood like vampire. We still a step higher. And yell bongo na ya Babylon. You love sweet, you no love nothing sour. Still a sip in the shower. I him back the power. Him save enough life like how him save Noah. You want steering, no watch nothing where you glitter. Burn them down. Still a see a go. Burn them down. Rasta a go burn them down. Still a see a go. Burn them down. Rasta are the kings of kings. Him are the lords of lords. Him are the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youths them none of them can fool ya. Cause in their heart they've got no doubt. No, Rastafari name them shout. So them shout it in the east, west, north and south. Papa make can't lock off the ghetto youths them out. When them shout till us in name of everything them claim. Them get fortune and fame. Papa make get blame, this are no game. And take it from Africa 400 years. Now we in a circle and them bring in a chain. But we melt up them shackle and we bust up them.
Radio will not be radio until reggae to reggae.
Take away, oh yes, happiness.
Yeah.
All when them joy away happiness. Oh yes, nothing them can do for black man strain. Them take we identity and change up with name. All when them take we high forward to clear. Play fool, picket wise and them think me insane. We come here, we rougher, we tougher, we bigger, we broader, we larger, we better. Happy go burn them down. Rasta a go burn them down. Selassie a go burn them down. Rasta a go burn them down. Selassie are the kings of kings. Him are the lords of lords. Him are the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youth them none of them can fool ya. Cause in their heart they've got no doubt. No, Rastafari name them shout. So them shout it in the east, west,
Out of the parish of St. Thomas in the east.
When them shout till us in name of everything them claim, them get fortune.
I would want to transmit Aya David's voice to the accident, to the situation, to the inhuman treatment of the woman with the pregnancy of 8 months old that was shot down in St. Thomas. All the condolences go to the family and to those people overseas who decided that this should not be happening in Jamaica.
Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly rules. Yes, now. Selassie, I say fit tell you no humble. Make sure you know we down, no one not stumble. And I will no feet, Goliath I go trample. When they hear me voice, them start to tremble. Lion pit me. Selassie say.
This is the pulsating voice of Reggae to Reggae.com. This is yours truly, OG Rastology Francis Paramount, chief of their cockpit country Maroons, indigenous people representative at the United Nations level.
When you send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly rules. Yes, no. Savior, highly ruled.
Regardless of the situation created by British government and the CIA and the Mossad and all the secret agents in the world, we are still holding on to our philosophy of His Imperial Majesty, Jah Rastafari.
Anyway, man, I will burn out the island from outer IG, and I will burn them in the east, the west, the north, the south. The African them come here, now we come for rule all about, because who when they send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, no. Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, no. The sun rising at the east and it's setting at the west. Get to you to know feel looking on no self and check. No make no wicked man take well no forget. In the righteous lane and there's no feel select.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you're just joining us inside the diaspora, this is the sound of Reggae to Reggae, and the program is entitled The Queenover, taking you through the transition from a colonial mind state to a new Jamaica, a new Nyankipong Asasi.
It's not trouble me. Many are they that rise up against me. Many they be with fear of my soul. But there is no help in them from Selassie. Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Selassie, I say fit tell you no humble. Make sure you know it down, no one not stumble. And I will no feet Goliath.
This year, 2012, it is mandatory for the Prime Minister of Jamaica to publicly tell the people of Jamaica, inform the people.
Psalms 18, and it will show no. Say me we use me Psalms and me spirit and born. So sing with me. Oh, when you send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Go when you send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled.
Still, the intelligent minds of Jamaica is wondering. The intelligent minds of Jamaica is still wondering if the Prime Minister of Jamaica is gonna call the referendum.
Anyway, man, I will burn out the island from outer IG, and I will burn them in the east, the west, the north, the south. The African them come here, now we come for rule all about, because go when they send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Go when just send you, answer when you call.
As the musician says, answer when you call, come when Jah call you. Now what we're saying is that the people should have been moving in the way of a referendum.
No make no wicked man take well no forget. In the righteous lane and there's no feel select. No feel heights up Selassie and don't stop step. And will up on the red yes to righteousness. No feel make up on no mind and put down filthiness. And leave alarms out for rest. Who no check boom. Go when they send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Selassie, I say fit tell you no humble. Make sure you know it down, no one not stumble. And down no feet, Goliath a go trample. When them hear me voice, them start to tremble. Lion picnic, Selassie say humble. When no wicked Babylon, they know nothing, me no. Go read Psalms 18, and it will show no. Say me we use me Psalms, and me spirit and bore me, and me sing it back. Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Oh, when Fret not thyself of death. Death belongs to the wind belongs to the tree, trees belongs to the earth is the Lord, the fullness thereof. Haile Selassie I the first. I know Selassie I lives on. Selassie I lives on reign. Yeah. I know Selassie I lives on. Selassie I lives on reign. Yeah. Over Port Royal, no for them sing Rasta bust up them shackle and make up them link. Freeze up them eye, make them can't even quit. Then we mark and duck and nip and them used to something. Them gamble with we money and don't pay sporting. And teach all the woman them bout the wrong thing. And teach all the man them bout the next thing. And make all the youth them grow up in nothing. But I know Selassie I lives on. Selassie I
The words of the man, Aya David says, I know, like the mountains and the monks who trust in the words of his imperial master.
Selassie I lives on reign. Yeah, yeah. Listen, me now walk for riches, and I walk for fame. I walk with them shout out Selassie guide him. Selassie run the street and the heavens and the name.
As I had mentioned before, it is mandatory for the Prime Minister of Jamaica to officially introduce what is called referendum to the public. And what that simply means, it means that the objective for the new election will not be as the normal election, of course, whereby the objective will be voting between the JLP and PNP party. But in a referendum, the objective would be whether or not the Jamaican citizen decided to continue on the colonial road of British monarchy to control the parliament, or to become a new republic state. And that is synonymous of Jamaica, that when the Queen leave out of Jamaica, automatically we will become a republic state. And most persons are wondering where the funding is going to come from. In a nutshell, I can tell you that Jamaicans are experiencing 21 years of funding based on the eligibility of the Maroon Sovereign State Treaty, the treaty that was signed in 1738. Today, UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, is funding education and a number of social structures in Jamaica. So most of the people who have actually been voting with an objective that their children will be going to school, some today are convinced that it's because of one party or another that facilitates funding for their education. A few years ago, most citizens were told that a new program was being introduced, and it was entitled PATH. Simple means that a portion or a fraction of your educational expense would be covered by the government. Recently, the government made the Jamaicans another surprise guess, I should say, when they were told that this term parents would not be pressured into expensive funding for education, because the government will be covering some 90%, if not all, of the education expense, of course. And that was good news. What it actually meant was that the money that was allocated to the public from 1991 have just actually reached 21 years late. We are informed that free education is now being available. While we think we are winning, we are actually losing 21 years of free education. We're still thankful for it. But the fact is, the information should have been given to the public. Who should be blamed? Is it United Nations? Is it the Jamaican government? Slowly, I am coming to the grand understanding that the snail crawling speed or the snail crawling rate of information coming to the indigenous people in Jamaica, to the poor indigenous or indigent communities, were not properly informed. They were not aware. And as a result of that, 21 years later, we are telling the government of Jamaica, thank you for something made available from the Maroon Treaty by way of United Nations signed in. You and I, inside of Jamaica and outside of Jamaica, is actually a member of the indigenous world community. And that is what I should say, congratulations. Yeah, there's a lot to be thankful for.
That belongs to the wind belongs to the trees belongs to the earth is the Lord, the fullness thereof. Haile Selassie, I the first. I know Selassie, I live on. Selassie, I live on.
In other words, my God have never failed me.
I know Selassie, I live on.
And the goose nagas.
I live Rasta bust up them shackle and melt up them limb. Freeze up them eye, make them can't even quit. Then we knock and if and them used to something. Them gamble with we money and don't pay sporting. And teach all the woman them bout the ranking. And teach all the man them bout the next thing. And make all the youth them grow up in nothing. But I know Selassie I live, sir. Selassie
what is interesting this evening on Reggae to Reggae live in the studio is that sometimes you play pretty interesting music, but the person who does the music or the vocalist is not close by. Tonight live in the studios we are talking to Aya David. He's going to be here talking to us and share some of his musical experience. Aya David, live in the studio here this evening with us. What is your opening remark about you in this music business? I listened to your track and I'm very much impressed, and you're very sensitive in terms of the Rastafarian philosophy. What is your official name? I think I should start that way. What is your, because Aya David is the mode of power pack, but your name that was given at home by birth.
First of all,
yeah,
I have to say blessed and warm welcome to the man of this moment.
Well,
the OG Francis.
I realized we're switching place. I thought you was the man of the moment. I guess that's good because we both appreciate the level of intelligence and the power in which we work in our cultural business. And glad to have you in studio, sir.
Yes, Mr. Francis. My name is Samuel Dawkins, a.k.a. Aya David.
A.k.a. Aya David. Which of the great parish were you hail from?
Yeah, I was born in St. Thomas.
You was born in St. Thomas.
Place a little town called Yalas.
Yalas.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, outside of Jamaica, inside of Jamaica this evening, we want to give a special big up, according to local Jamaicans would say, to the parish of St. Thomas, and particularly to what community?
A local place called Baptist, Knightsville, Yalas.
The big place called?
Baptist.
Heights.
St. Thomas.
Okay, in Yalas in St. Thomas, and you was actually born in that area. What kind of more or less brought you into the music business?
Well, growing up in the music business, my father did have a song called INRI, I Negus Rule Israel. So actually, me born in the music, growing in the music, start creeping at the music, start stand up in the music, start singing at the music.
Interesting. I like that your development. I heard nothing stop you. You were moving from one step to the other. Now, I'm going to have you walk a little bit backwards now. Earlier when I asked you about your father, now tell me, who in your third, fourth generation, your grandfather, who was close to music? Anybody you can remember?
I think it was my father, which is my grandfather.
Right. What he did, play the instrument?
He was a lover of the drums.
Right.
He liked to play the gits.
The guitar.
Yeah.
All right. What should I say? Movement, spiritual movement. He played the drum. Can you remember any? Was it for Christmas celebration or more for revival, kumina?
It's more like a revival.
Revival.
It's like a kumina.
More.
That sound, that kumina.
Right.
It's a more, it's a more wider variety on a scale where the coming of the drum, the sound, the shaker, the tambourine, every little thing, that sound, that music, that article sound, it gone from we, you know.
Right.
It's not there again. That music that I feel like is like a soul, the drum. It brings out something from inside, inside of your body.
I'm glad that people can actually see you when you speak, because your hands seems to be making more expression even than your mouth, and you are pointing to your abdomen, and that is exactly where the drum comes from, and so the fact flowing in your story, it's clear from an anthropological point of view that you derived out of a rich musical background. Now tell me. The first time your friends, family, or your school realized you could sing, who first discovered that? Who seems to convince you that that is the road? Somebody said something to you.
Yeah. You know, from a small age, from primary school days, I've been doing this music, lyrical content thing, where I take it to my school first, from primary school days.
I like the way you say take it to school, I'm sorry, but you say first.
Yeah, first. It was starting from my home.
Right, that's what I'm getting back to. So tell me the first time at home when you make an impact. What happened at home the first time?
You know, it was my uncle,
Yeah.
Barry, who really see me as something in the music. He sees something in it.
Any words you can remember that he used to describe you?
I think if you go down at the, I think if you go down at the bands, go rehearse down at the basic school at evening time when I left school.
There was a band down there.
Yeah. There was rehearsing for bigger artists, people in the music.
What was the name of the band at that time?
That time it was Love Light.
Love Light. Any big song that they did? Any big impact they made at the time that you can remember?
It was like a member of my family, them, my father, and friends, them, cousin, brother, one on the drum, one on the bass. So the whole of them have a school, the school room, at evening time with them rehearse them thing every evening. So through him always hear me I come from school and I sing in the house and I sing at one of the bathroom side and I do my little thing. I always I say, David, you know, so I feel say a time now for you to start go down at the school and rehearse it. Zooms and whizzing them.
Everything you said slowly tells me that you are an authentic product. It is clear that you was born and bred and raised into music.
Yes.
Now, some persons would have gone into dancehall or more of the commercial, trendy type music, but it was clear that you stayed close to Rastafarian philosophy and so on, and you were more a priest, if I should get direct to your words. You sound very confident. Which of the Rastafarian group would you say you're from?
Well, it's not, Rastafari is not like a title or like a gift, you know.
Yes.
Rastafari is life. To me, Rastafari is life, because I had DJ from Yellow Man days, from one in a DJ Daddy. You see, so there wasn't so much Rasta them time they were from Bob and Peter and them man, they were at the elders for the thing.
Right.
So when I grew up, and cause one time I couldn't get to talk to Rasta, you know. I couldn't go on a locks around mama.
Right.
So I never sight Rasta until when I start growing myself. And I pick out and know, say, you know, say Rasta, cause when mama used to tell her, I say, not talk to him, dirty head man there. But when I stop and I come from school and I reason with a bingy, I used to get some conscious reasoning, so till I start left school and go check this bingy, I get some different kind of reason from this bingy. So Rasta, Keith and Bonnie Clive, see, them man they never did a show I nothing bad like what people did have in them head. So I never sight Rastafari until I becomes big man.
So this, what you're telling me, for most persons not familiar with Rastafarian tradition, We were talking here about it's called the Trod.
The trad.
The Trod. And the Trod started there.
Yeah, the trad.
All right. Today, after all your experience,
Yeah.
if you was to point to one of the Rasta house, one of the movement, the Bubble, 12 Tribe, whatever, which of them would you say that is your home in terms of where you see the spectacles of His Imperial Majesty to be glorified? Yes.
You know, sir, it was a Bingi, Aya Bingi. Because when I go around the Bingi them,
Right.
I get to see more clearer. I get to learn about Rasta on a wider aspect.
Right.
When I go a Bobo, I go a one place. When I go the Bingi them, me hear all different type of sounds. It go right back to the drum them, same way. Cause the Bingi them ever knock them drum and ever give me that spiritual feeling. There's something inside of me will always move me when you see the Bingi them. You see, it's just the Aya Ingi.
Okay, so it's without a doubt that you're inspired by Naya Bingi. Jamaica now is under invasion somewhat by the World Bank, and it is without doubt that a number of the heritage sites are under attack at the moment. And the Naya Bingi at Scott Pass, which is the most memorable location for the gathering, is said to be somewhat under attack. We are not quite sure exactly what the situations are, but we know things are not as normal as they used to be. If tomorrow you heard that Scott Pass is invaded and things are not the same anymore, and you're losing grounds at Scott Pass, as one of the followers, what would you do?
I would find the chief, first of all. And when I find the chief, I would try to ask the chief, what's wrong with Naya Bingi?
Somebody listening to you right now, and they're not informed that Jamaica have a new chieftain from the Maroon sovereign state representing the protection of this country and receivership. So they would be wondering, what the hell are you talking about? And why would you go to a chief? Explain to me why.
Because you see right now, as you said before, we come up to the 21st century now. The Queen leaves over, and right now in Jamaica, there is no prime minister that higher than the chief. There is no man that sits in the parliament higher than the chief, and there is nothing over the chief right now in Jamaica, because Jamaica is a Maroon sovereign state. So right now, anything you have to do in Jamaica, you have to do it in the presence of the chief. You have to consult the chief. Anything that I have to do, I don't know about the next.
See, I say fit tell you no humble. Make sure you know it down, no want not stumble. And I will no feet, Goliath a go trample. When them hear me voice, them start to tremble. Lion pitney, Selassie say humble. You know wicked Babylon, they know nothing, me no know no.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you heard it clear from one of the musicians, ambassadors of reggae music out of St. Thomas Live, and his testimony was that Jamaicans have come to the consciousness that a chieftain's situation, a chief is actually the head of an indigenous community that Jamaica have been officiated, and so that the transitory state moved the minds of conscious people from the prime minister to a chief, paramount chief. Incidentally, this is yours truly, OG Rastology Francis, the paramount chief of Jamaica, now Nyankipong Republic sovereign state. Good evening, good morning, whatever your time is. Global loving.
Goliath and the evil and the bear, and I no care. Me born Lucifer anywhere, and I will burn out the harlot from outer IG, and I will burn them in the east, the west, the north, the south. The African them come here now, we come for rule all about. We go so go when we send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled, yes no. Go when just send you. Answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, no. The The sun rising at the east and it's setting at the west. Get to you to know fi looking now, no self and check. No make no wicked man take where no forget. In the righteous lane, and best who no fit select. Who no fit heights up Selassie and don't stop step. And hold up who no radiates to righteousness.
I just listened to the words of the musician of the man called Aya David. It says to the youths in the community, don't let anyone come into your community and stimulate you into negative vibrations. Answer when you're called to the words of His Imperial Majesty, because positive lives in the stomach of every man, in the chest of every man, there beats an heart.
When just send you, answer when you're called. Selassie, we blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now. Selassie, I say fit no humble.
This is the voice of Paramount Chief OG Rastology Francis.
Feet Goliath go trample when them
Live on Reggae to Reggae.com.
Selassie say humble. When no wicked Babylon, then no think me no. Go read Psalms 18 and it will show no. Say me we use me Psalms.
Presented by Rocky Sons and the Walkway 30 Studio in association with the Cockpit Country Heritage Foundation.
Selassie, we blessed Savior, highly ruled. Yes, now.
Ladies and gentlemen, live in the studio is a man called Aya David with his words of positiveness through the bitter times. As globalism turns his ugly face up on what was Jamaica, now Nyanki Pong, Asasi. Want to say hi to all the Maroons inside of Jamaica, inside of the Cockpit Country. Want to say hi to Colonel Sterling, and inside of a compound town, a man called Colonel Williams, and a number of the frontline activists, man like Mark Cotto, son of the soil.
Selassie, I live on. Selassie, I live on. Yeah. Over Port Royal, no but them think Rasta bust up them shackle and make up them leave. Freeze up them I make them can't even quit. Then we mark and look and if and them use to run things. Them gamble with we money and don't pay sporting. And teach all the woman them bout the wrong thing. And teach all the man them bout the next thing.
Brothers and sisters inside of South Africa, I heard a man called Joseph decide to put the secondary part of the Mandela movements into reality. The energy of the Kingston, energy of Montego Bay, energy of the four corners of Jamaica is with the brothers fighting in South Africa. And we will not allow the CIA to confuse us, because Zimbabwe did not say anything negative. This is the voice of Maroon, Paramount Chief, telling you that there's nothing to worry about. Death is about to upon everyone, so they say. We're not afraid.
So tell this land that say we know in a them of me show Selassie, see me in a vision and dream. Selassie, in a me life incoming.
In this war against the indigenous people, to understand one thing, that once your art is beaten, you're ahead of the game.
If you up it strong, me step on the battlefield. I live Selassie, open the 7th seat. I live with me name and me never blasted. The king disappear and
10,000 will fall on thy right hand side, and 10,000 on thy left, but none shall stand nearby thee.
Selassie, I live and reign. Yeah, I know Selassie, I live on. Selassie, I live and reign. Yeah, they increase the
Right in the eyes of the Pope of Rome, stinging like a bee.
But there is no helping them from Selassie, I Jah, Rastafarian, Sharak Babal.
Sharak Babal, the Hebrew expression, the last words of the Jamaican saints.
Glory in the lift up of my head. I cry up to Selassie with my voice, and he hears me out of his holy head. I know Selassie, I live on. Selassie, I live on.
Wherever over the world you may be, the global power is touching every country at this moment, and the magnetism of the righteous people is moving above the wind, above the sky. 800, 950 million.
Yeah.
mega spaces of nucleus in the empty space of the internet. Hot news tonight and the thing called Queenover. We just learned that maybe super cat life is in danger. The war on the intellectual property trying to invade Jamaica.
Yeah.
Another rich resources of reggae music.
Tell me them a this one pass, and the little diamond now cut glass. Up a judgment, you have the Hebrew class. Have to take the test, me say if you want pass. The king and the prophet and the...
What a sight to Sizzler Kalanji in his most humble mood this evening.
Feel King Selassie, I nothing need to cost. Bun Jesus, where them put on the cross. Fling a leather fire, me say...
And I would not stop to tell you that it seems to me that the lion wants to trample the crocodile, but it's still rocking.
Me sing again.
What am I talking about? A man called El Stitch. The product was invaded. It's lots of gossip, but it's rapid.
No.
Why a elephant would want to invade a crocodile? You know something? I thought the man was a big man. I thought the elephant was a big man. Jamaican music business is getting very interesting. Big, powerful guys are falling down on children.
That open skin time I brighten up the place. With Apollonia, some gyal a make date. If you pass them place, them other use them plate. Put over even time for you move straight. I impress men in you want disgrace. For real. I had to kill Baby Man. I'm so mad.
If you want your house to be blessed with this music, the voice of the man called David, from the 225th descendant of the Hebrew genealogy, the reflections in Jamaica, Connaught of St. Thomas, Jamaica. The music can be gotten from reggae to reggae.com. Contact us, of course, and you will be bombing.
I David from Judgment Yard, Barad Ha Shadia. Enough of them a bling, some of them a floss, some of them a tell me them a this one pass. And the little diamond now cut glass. Up a judgment yard you have the Hebrew class. Have to take the test, me say if you want pass. The king and the prophet and the priest run the class. Me say God a come but a mass him go mass. Feel King Selassie. Bun Jesus where them put on the cross. Fling a leather fire, me say pan Santa Claus. Lucifer him with the 3 teeth far. Luminati them can't pass.
Reggae to reggae is invading the privacy of your home to give you one of the best music selection out of Jamaica. Here's Studio G Rastology singing the common courtesy of your home. Your privacy, of course. Going down the road, somewhere riding. This is live music out of Kingston, Jamaica.
These are the things where you go on nowadays. Mother sell a fitness soul just to make a quick praise. Me little black friend just changing face. That open skin time a brighten up the place. With Apollonia, some gyal a make date. If you pass them place, them other use them plate. Put over even time for you move straight. I impress men in you want disgrace. For real. I had to kill Baby Man. I'm so mad. Praising Haile Selassie, I'm in a praise God. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, back in the studios live, let's talk to Higher David a little bit more. Higher David, you have never decided to stay home like Peter Touch. You have actually traveled someplace overseas before. Where you have actually been out of Jamaica?
I've been to England, I've been to America, I've been to France, and I've been back home here in Jamaica.
And of course, most of this traveling was actually music business, of course.
Yeah, man, straight.
Tell me about one of your best performances overseas.
You know, one of my best performances overseas was in Bristol, you know, a local town called Bristol.
Yeah.
With a sound named Qualitex in a Malcolm X Center in St. Paul's.
What year was it?
That was in the year 2003.
Right.
Real bad show.
Yeah.
Like it.
You love the
Big up
experience.
St. Paul's people them.
Yeah.
All the people them at Bristol, Malcolm X Center, St. Paul's, Nottingham, Birmingham, all around straight up to London. Straight on the thing global. Let's go and tune in and go and take in the good conscious side of the music. See? Because I love the culture and I know the music there.
It's not too late now, of course, if you're listening to reggae2reggae.com, and if you are friends on that part of area, you can call them and tell them, hey, get on to Reggae to Reggae and get connected because, hey, Higher David is on the radio. Of course, yes. And so that was one of your big show, of course. Now, tell me, you went on stage. You performed about what time? About fifth, sixth where?
I performed about them time about 1, 2 o'clock. Because there was bigger on the stage. There was enough artists.
On the stage?
Backstage.
Who was the big hack on the show?
You know, at that time, there was so much of them because Gregory did that there.
Okay, it's one of those shows with massive amount. Yeah.
And you have,
how did you get squeezed on a show like that?
You know, my uncle them owned the sound.
Okay.
So,
see, but you always have an insider with the music business. And tonight you slip into my studio again.
I have a great singer towards there.
Okay.
Jamaica not to recognize.
If anything there was to remember about you that night, any one thing, what happened when you went on stage that people would have remembered you tonight?
The way I dressed and the style of lyrics that I was talking that night. Because I was up and I was alert because I get called behind an artist that was really shocking.
So you had to really put some heat.
Yeah, man, you know Daddy Freddie and them youth in London, them had
they already scorched the stage
and
then you came up and then hey, I mean, there's nothing else you could do but burn it.
I just burn it 2 pieces and I didn't even stay my time, I didn't even do my full time.
That's the best thing to do.
That's the best thing. I just do 2 songs, catch the crowd my way.
Right.
2 more and I just leave it.
You know, most persons, when they get a chance in life and they're not the best thing, but they should make an assessment of themselves and realize that they're not a all-night burner. They're a few minutes guy and they could make a very good impact. But some guy get greedy and try to stay on stage until they lose all. So you did the opposite. What you did was
quick and fast.
And make an impact.
And make an impact quick and fast and go.
They tell me that you might live in this business. Of course.
You see, at that time, I wasn't a name artist.
All right.
I have 2 tunes playing on the pirate radio station, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
You see me?
Right.
You have artists who work there, but everybody who in Bristol at the time, who knows me,
I think it's okay. Who you recorded for, right? You realize companies in Germany is kind of rushing at you right now. What's the name of that company?
Free Roots.
Free Roots. Okay, inside of Germany. Any other company you recorded for overseas?
Yeah, I record for a company like, I do tune for Coxon. I don't know if them release.
All right. Now,
I do tune for Jam, no, that back in Jamaica.
Yeah, but here in Jamaica, and Jammies and so on.
Yeah.
What's the most recent hot shot you think people can look forward to right now? The song you heard earlier on?
Yeah.
What's the name of that song, if I can remember?
It's called Burn Them.
Burn Them. And who is the producer of that song?
It's a youth from England, you know, normal local youth like me and you come together, put something together.
So, okay, so you're part of the production. It's something new coming up right now. And you think that you will burn the street with that song. What's the name of it again?
Burn Them.
Burn Them, of course. It started the program and I was really impressed. I think lots of persons would want to share more of it. Do you have a Facebook, anything like that?
I got a Facebook, you know, iDavid.com.
iDavid.com. Right. Any other type of communication somebody could get in touch with you? Because next thing, you're very big with specials. People from Europe is calling you for specials.
Yeah.
And you're almost making a better living from specials than anything else.
You have to get a link to the iDavid right now. You have to stick to the name.
Okay.
iDavid Kim74 at yahoo.com.
We come here, we rougher, we tougher.
I David says it's rougher, tougher, better, mash.
Down, Rasta I go, burn them down, till I see I go.
This is like a prophecy because Rastafarians are declared to be one of the 4 indigenous groups in Jamaica, and so officially the Rastafarians are expected to play a major part in the new government of the indigenous people, and most persons overseas is kind of feeling the vibration of Rastafarians should be up front, and emphasis will be made on more local Jamaicans who play active part in the transitionary stage from the colonial state to a Maroon Republic sovereign state. Let's hope, ladies and gentlemen, and send letters home to your friends and telling them that they should ask the government for a referendum.
Hamba, Ganda, Hawa, Sacha, Tayakala, Manasai, Pakazak, Marasha. Selassie are the kings of kings, him are the lords of lords, him are the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youths, them none of them can fool ya, cause in their heart they've got no doubt. No, Rastafari name them shout. So them shouted in the east, west, north and south. Papa make y'all lock up to get the youths them out. When them shout till us name of everything them claim, them get far too long fame. Papa make get lame, this are no game. Burn them out, Rasta I go. Burn them out, till I see I go burn them out. Rasta I go, burn them out. Yo, Parad and Shadia, I'm a the ruler, so me shout out ash and stop them with it. Me no drink liquor, me feed pan bitter. Me shout till I see name and me get rich quicker. Me not turn no itcher, me nah be no switcher. Through the dark cloud we a shine and a glitter. We want uplift ya, too much we a suffer. Anyway, dedicate to youth them a go for. Babylon a suck with blood like vampire. We still a step higher, and yell bongo na ya. Babylon you love sweet, you no love nothing sour. Still a sip in the shower, I him back the power. Him save enough life like how him save Noah. You want steering, no watch nothing where you glitter. Turn them down, still I see I go. Turn them down, Rasta I go burn. Turn them down.
Okay, that comes
the kings of kings, him are the lords of lords. Conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youths them not.
It was an interesting day internet was created.
In their heart they've got.
Interesting day when internet was created, because today I can see you on radio.
My name them shout. So them shout it in the east, west, north and south. Papa make y'all lock off to get the youths them out. When them shout till us in name of everything them claim, them get fortune and fame. Papa make get blame, this are no game. And take we from Africa 400 years. Carry in a circle and them bring we in a chain. But we melt up them shackle and we bust up them chain. Nothing them can do to black man brain. All when them take away, oh yes, we joy and we happiness, oh yes. All when them take away, we joy and we happiness, oh yes. Nothing them can do for black man strain. Them take we identity and change up we name. All when them take we high forward to clear. Careful to get wise and them think me insane. We come here, we rougher, we tougher, we bigger, we broader, we larger, we better. Happy go burn them down. Rasta I go, burn them down. Selassie I go, burn them down. Rasta I go, burn them down. Selassie are the kings of kings, him are the lords of lords, him are the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. No watch Papa make where you try come rule ya. The ghetto youths them none of them can fool ya. Come.
Explode on your more music and the Mother Music Master Track. This is your Studio G Rastology, France. Reggae to reggae. I give my car, I give my house, I give everything for reggae to reggae. What a music.
enemies that trouble me, many are they that rise up against me. Many they be which swear off my soul, but there is no helping them from Selassie. Go when just send you, answer when you call. Selassie, our blessed Savior, highly rule.
I want to leave you with a positive vibes to the band called Aya David out of St. Thomas. Man from the east with a peace. I want to say hi to Caveman at Eastern Peace Center and all the man like Busy that make Pepsi.
Start to tremble, lion Pitney, Selassie say humble, who no wicked.
From the gully with here is Burger.
No, go read Psalms 18, and it will show no, say me we use me Psalms and me spear and born.
On the rock where there is Fort.
When you send you, answer when you
in Kingston where there is East.
blessed Savior, highly rule.
May Jah precious guidance be with you until the next program. The one is entitled Queenover.
Selassie, our blessed Savior.
Back in Queenover, we'll give you more information, transition from the colonial mindset.
Them see them create problem. I David and me name, so me a go fix the whole of them. Now me Psalms, now me spear, now me sling them. Then hear me come fi walk and go like that and the evil and the bear, and I no care. Me burn Lucifer anyway, and I will burn out the harlot from outer IG, and I will burn them in the east, the west, the north, the south. The African them come here now, we come fi rule all about.